Tonight on Oxygen Tango Live, an appearance by Stephen Aldaco. Then we'll check in with Minfei and Roy. We'll also get an update on Sachin's new food order and his remarkable new virtual relationship. All that and more right now. Welcome back to a Wednesday night edition of Oxygen Tango Live. Before we bring Stephen on, Megan, how are you?
I'm pretty good, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing okay, hanging in there.
It's the expression that most accurately describes how everybody's feeling, I think.
That is, I do feel like I'm hearing more hanging in there's recently. That's become the dominant response.
There's an uptick in hanging in there.
So just a couple of administrative announcements. We are streaming every weekday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. You can find us on YouTube or Facebook, as you can see in the top right corner of our screen. If you really want to get involved with the chat, we recommend YouTube. Also, just want to mention that we are kind of figuring out this multi-stream thing. Sometimes the Facebook feed seems to fail. And so if that happens, or if the YouTube stream fails for that matter, it'll just come right back up in a minute or two. And if the Facebook one fails completely, you can always find us still streaming on YouTube. Just if your screen totally goes blank and it doesn't come back right away, just visit our YouTube page and you should be able to find the new stream. We are hoping that doesn't happen though. And lastly, just want to mention that if you'd like to appear on the show, we'd love to hear from tango dancers of any level all over the world. All you have to do is write us at connect@oxygentango.com and we'll get that set up. Without further ado, we're going to bring on the first guest, Stephen Aldaco. Stephen, there he is. Can you hear us okay?
Sure can.
He's there.
Sure can.
Stephen Aldaco, I had your head in my name all this time as Stephen Aldaco, and so this has been a very quick learning curve for me.
Well,
what is that last name? Does it mean something?
well, my heritage is like Mexican, so I think it's some sort of Spanish last name, but I don't really know the history of it.
I'm glad that I threw you a curveball right off the bat for
Thank you.
first interview question. So, Stephen, just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're living now, what your work situation is, and maybe how you found your way to tango.
So I'm living in Costa Mesa, Orange County right now, and my current work situation is not great. Because of the whole coronavirus deal, I lost all my work. I am a yoga teacher, and I have been moving all of that like online. So that's been this whole time where I haven't had work. It's been good because I've been really focusing on that. So that's really, really nice. And I found my way to tango through swing dancing, actually. I was a swing dancer for a little bit, and over at the Atomic Ballroom, there's like this shady corner down the hall where they would do tango. And I was swing dancing for many, many years, and I never peered into that room until one day I just kind of like poked my head in and oh, what is going on over here? And after that, I took some classes, and it just kind of sent my life in a different direction because I found a love, and I just went down this tango spiral.
Do you remember what it was specifically that you fell in love with? Was it just everything all at once, or like it was the music, or it was...
I think it was just so sexy. Like it was so sexy, but it wasn't like overtly sexy as like you would find in like bachata, where you're shaking your hips and all of that, you know?
Yeah, it's like artistic sexy.
Yeah, it was like elegant. I thought it was very elegant, and I liked this.
Why do you think it was
Very
that
much.
moment that you decided to investigate this other dance if you'd walked by that room so many times before?
You know, I never actually walked by it. I knew it was there. I knew it existed. and it was just one day I decided to just poke my head in and see what was going on, you know?
Hmm.
And then in that moment I was just like, wow, this is I've never seen anything like this before. It was the music was so like old timey, you know, and it was just it sent me back into like this distant past is what it felt like. It felt like I was going into a time warp.
And how long have you been? And how long ago was that?
I've been dancing tango for about 5 years,
Okay, and then swing dancing for a long time before that.
like maybe 2 years, nothing too crazy.
Got it.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
So you've recently spent some time in Buenos Aires.
yeah. I was there for 5 weeks in February, and then the year before that, I was there for about a month. Mostly in Buenos Aires. I did a little bit of exploring to the north in Iguazu, but mostly in Buenos Aires.
Hmm.
Well, what'd you think?
That's a tough question to answer. I loved it. It was you can't escape the artistic expression that they have there. It's in your face. You walk down the streets and you hear like tango music playing. You'll walk by a tango class and you'll hear and see the professors. You go into the subways and there's all sorts of murals for different artists. You go to like the touristy spots, like the cemeteries, and you can see where all the tango dancers were buried. And yeah, it's just part of the culture. It's not like here where it's like this special activity. In Argentina and Buenos Aires, I felt like it was just a part of what some people decided to do. It was like ingrained in them almost.
Wow, sounds good.
Oh, it was great.
And were you involved in the yoga scene over there also?
A little bit, yeah. So there's a school, D&E Tango, and they have in their program they have a couple of yoga classes scheduled. So I would, take part in that. Also on Sundays in the Parque Centenario, it's like one of the big parks in the center of the city. They would do acrobatic yoga, and that's another thing I kind of dabble in. So I got in touch with that community a little bit, doing some like partner acrobatics, super fun. And the way I like to think about Buenos Aires is kind of like a Latin American New York. There's like always things happening. The city never sleeps. Like things go on to like 6 a.m. and it's just a really cool, fun place to be.
So
Acrobatic yoga. Dave and I just tried a little bit of that a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, I
Let's
thought
see
we
it.
were pretty stellar at
there's
it.
a lot of
I did the
lifting of each other with our heels, like kind of lying on your partner's heels and draping over their heels. I don't know if that's acrobatic yoga, but that's what it was.
That's 100% acrobatic yoga,
Oh, okay,
for sure.
cool. Yeah. Actually, I've like had a potentially dangerous fall twice in all the yoga classes I've ever taken, and they were both in this one acrobatic yoga class. So, I wanted to ask you. Well, Megan, maybe you were already about to ask, but I heard a rumor that you had been
no.
you had been not even for the coronavirus, but you had actually just moved into a van at some point, and is this accurate?
Yeah, so I've been doing the van life for about a year and some change. And the reason I decided to take this journey on was because I wanted to go to Argentina, and I knew I wanted to go for a long time. And I was like, what's the point of like paying rent when I'm gonna be gone for this extended period of time? And it was also a way for me to like save money in preparation for this trip. It's something I had like fantasized and dreamed about, like watching people on YouTube and Instagram. And I was just like, what the hell? Let's go for it. Let's do it. And it's been an awesome journey. And because
Dave, he's not just like living out of his van. He has like kitted out his van, so his van is like a very swank place to live. I saw
see.
pictures.
And then are you so for example, you have a refrigerator in your van and a stove or
Yeah, I definitely do. And I would shower like because I teach yoga at yoga studio, so I would go there to like shower. in the evenings, I would spend my time like dancing in LA, and that's really convenient because if you go to Malanga and it's 3 a.m., the last thing you want to do is fall asleep. So I would just crash out in the van and
Perfect.
call it a night and wake up in LA.
And were you driving all over, or was the van mostly parked, or is mostly parked?
I think when I first started doing it, I was really adventurous, and I was like, okay, I've got this mobile home, like let's explore all of the state parks in California, the national parks in California, and go that route. But after, a couple of months, you kind of settle in. It's like, okay, I'm going to be centralized in one space and continue to work in this one space.
I see. So
Yeah.
it's not so much about roaming around anymore.
No, definitely not. And I think it was super helpful for like the Tango because, like I said, I'd be working in Orange County during the day. I'd drive up to LA at night, and then stay there in LA, and then wake up in the morning after traffic dies and go back.
Seems like it would fit the Tango lifestyle, yeah, very well.
That's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah. The hard part is keeping your clothes ironed if you don't hang them up right.
We're getting a lot of chat in the chat about the Van Man. You have been coined the Van Man, and someone is already in love with you.
Oh, nice. We can go snorkeling.
Did you take?
Are you in? Wait, no, I have to know. Are you not in the van? You're obviously not in the van right now. How are you quarantining?
Well, yeah. So because of the quarantine, I'm trying my best to like stay put. So I'm staying at a friend's house for now, and just kind of riding this whole thing out, and we'll see what happens. Like I could very well go off to like Joshua Tree somewhere, but I figured I'd abide by the rules and kind of stay local.
I see.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this is really illuminating. I always talk about one of my favorite things about a night of Tango at Oxygen is always that there's always going to be a few surprises who shows up, and there'll always be a couple people that are brand new. There'll be a couple people you haven't seen in 10 years. There'll be a couple people that are there almost every day, and then there's a few people sort of that intermediate, or like we'll see them once or twice a month. You're kind of in that category, so we're always very happy to see you, but yet it's tantalizing. We don't feel like we quite get enough time with you, so it's fun to hear what the rest of your life is like.
Yeah, it's nice to have that space, Oxygen, where everyone's like super friendly and it's not so like, you know, uptight. Let's call it uptight, like a lot of Tango can be. It feels more relaxed and it feels more homey. So I enjoy it very much.
So LA, and what are the other cities that you kind of are dancing in at the moment, aside from Argentina?
That's pretty much it. I went to San Francisco quite a bit, maybe like 2 years ago, just to see what the scene was like, and I really enjoyed it there. But yeah, mostly Orange County and Los Angeles. The Malongas I go to Tango Mio on Tuesdays for sure, and Caltech whenever that's happening. Those are kind of like my three central ones, and Oxygen.
And so we've had some people on that have been dancing a year. We've had some people who have been dancing 15 years. You're kind of in the middle there at about 5 years. What is that like? What are your challenges? What are you working on? How do you feel about your dancing? What's the perspective of a 5-year veteran?
I felt like I was pretty decent, before my first trip to Argentina. I was like, okay, like I got a handle of things. I think I could go to Argentina and like be able to dance. That was totally wrong. I went to Argentina and I kind of got like shocked because the level of dancing as far as like skill and the things they can do with each other was just, I've never ever seen anything like that. And I was like, oh, okay, there are levels to this tango game. I've only scratched the surface. And I feel like tango is one of those things. It's a forever journey. Like you can continue to learn throughout your career. You can dance for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. There's always going to be something to learn in this space.
And that was kind of 2 or 3 years in that you had that revelation that there was maybe more to it than you thought, or?
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
So these days, I'm mostly dancing more like salon style, doing a lot of milongas. But um, before, I think when I first started, I wanted to be like very big and showy and do all sorts of ganchos and baleos and like really like show off me
Hmm.
and my partner. And now it's kind of more about that like embrace, that feeling that you get while you're in that
Mm.
space.
Oh, we
Yeah,
turned you from a swing dancer into a tango dancer.
you got
Tango
me.
turns you from a swing dancer to a tango dancer.
Sometimes I feel like you never feel better about your dancing than right at that 2 year mark, right before you have that realization. That's the peak, and you'll always be aware of the flaws after that.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, these days I go for more just enjoyment and connecting to people and less of showing off.
Hmm.
Does it seem different to you now, tango? Now that nobody's been able to do it for 2 weeks?
I feel like not to be a downer, but I feel like we're probably going to enter a little bit of a dark age of tango for a little bit. I think once this whole coronavirus thing is done with, I feel like people are going to be afraid to come back
Right.
into this space a little bit. Um, yeah, and like gathering in big social settings is going to be a little bit weird. Um, So what I on the plus side, I have been taking a lot of like online live stream classes,
Hmm.
like just in like the little kitchen area that we have in here, and it's awesome because you get to take live instruction from people all over the world, and so it's been awesome. I've been able to connect with some of the tango teachers from Buenos Aires, some people in Texas. So yeah, that's been a perk of this whole like coronavirus thing.
Hmm. Yeah, I was wondering if it would play out that way. I could definitely see it going that way, and I could also see it going. We're so desperate now to get out and do stuff that there's kind of a little bump almost like we get around New Year's. For about 6 weeks, all of a sudden everyone wants to dance tango. But maybe depending on how long it lasts, I could see it that way too. It just becomes a little strange to be around people, and it takes a while for us to get back in the habit of it. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Probably depends on when that is, maybe. If it's 3 months from now, if it's a month from now.
Yeah,
What do you
maybe
think's going to
also.
happen,
Sorry.
Stephen? Sorry, no, you go ahead.
No, no. I imagine they'll figure out some sort of vaccine for it, and then it'll just be kind of like, okay, you get this vaccine and everything's hunky dory, It's just when that happens in that timeline in between. But I'm pretty optimistic about the timeline and when these things happening. I feel like we're so quick to jump to the worst case scenario of what's going to happen, and I feel like sometimes we're surprised by the ingenuity of humans and the things that we come up with.
Mm.
Well said.
Hmm.
There's a question from the chat. Nicole Smith wants to know if you have a favorite tango live stream or group to follow or a particular class you should check out.
If you know Hugo Patin, he's an instructor he's in Texas right now, but yeah, he did a live stream. I think it was Monday, and his partner does one on Wednesdays for female technique and male technique, and that was incredible. So Hugo Patin on Instagram.
And so, can you spell the last name so people can find it?
Paytn. I think that's how you spell it.
Great.
Okay, got it. You heard it here. Hugo Patin on Instagram.
And it's nice because the tango instructors are out of work as well, so you can support them by sending them Venmo or PayPal, and that's another like great thing that you can do to like give back to this community in this time, because they're probably hurting the most.
Yeah. And to that end, so what else are you doing with your days? So you're taking tango classes online. What else does your days look like?
So I've been working on a YouTube channel for a little bit. So I've been spending a lot of time just vlogging, editing, putting up like yoga content, yoga videos for my YouTube channel as well. So people my yoga students can, continue to work on their yoga while they're stuck in quarantine. And I'm kind of like off in the suburbs, so I have a bicycle, and I've been riding that around quite a bit. Before we had like a full lockdown, I was doing a lot of trail runs and some snorkeling before it was all like really locked down. So on this Monday is when I changed my routine to doing bike rides because I can maintain that social distance, but still get outside and enjoy everything.
And as someone who's really studying intensely tango and also, teaching yoga, and I'm curious if you could just compare and contrast them a little bit. Where are the overlaps? Where are the differences?
They're both meditation. They're both forms of meditation for me. It's like yoga, you're focusing on the breath and the movement, and it's kind of like a set sequence of things that you know, so you can kind of get into this meditative state. You're like, oh, okay, I'm just breathing and being present and listening to my body. And then I think with tango, once you have like a basic skill set, you can kind of apply that same like meditation. You can just focus on your partner, on the sensation that's happening with your partner. You can focus on your breath. You can listen to the music and interpret it together. So they're both forms of meditation.
Great.
Sachin Mehta is recommending your meditation live videos in the morning.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, on Mondays, 8:45 a.m., we do Meditation Monday. 5-minute meditation. If you're a beginner, it's not too intimidating. You can find that on my Instagram. It's my name, Stephen Aldaco, 8:45 Mondays in the morning.
Awesome.
Cool.
Little plug.
Stephen, do you collect anything?
No,
Gotta be tough to have a collection in that van life.
I
collects memories.
I live very minimalistically, for sure. I have very little things that I enjoy. That I did have a rock collection before I started the van life, and that was probably one of the hardest things to like get rid of, because you have to downsize and you have to get rid of everything. And I forgot what the name of the book was that I read, but if it doesn't spark joy in your life, you kind of have to like give it up. And it did
Tango method.
There it
is. Don't get her started.
So it did spark joy, but it wasn't like really serving its value. It served its purpose. Did I say what it was? It was a rock collection? Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock collection.
Well, what did you do?
It was a rock collection from all the places I had traveled. Like
wow.
I had one from like Mexico and like from different places, and I was like, okay, like I don't really need these things. So, yeah.
You gave it up. Wow.
Well, what did you do with it?
Threw it away. I mean, like
in the trash.
In the trash.
Wow.
It's I guess detaching from like everything, really. And just like focusing on being present and what I really need in life, the bare necessities.
Wow.
Not enough joy.
I do the same thing, but I'm also a minimalist. Not as far as that, but I really pride myself on like getting rid of stuff and not having a lot of things. And so my collection is magnets, because it like takes up no space, and if I have to move, it's very lightweight to move, and I try to get one every time I go someplace.
Is that why there's a bunch of magnets in oxygen with the numbers of the letters?
Well, that's just because I like magnets, but that is not my magnet collection. Not even close.
Next time I go to Argentina, I'll bring you back a magnet.
Yes, thanks. It's literally the best thing anybody can do for me.
Done. I owe you a mug as well from Argentina.
Oh, right. Looking forward to that. Stephen, it's been so great talking to you. Thanks for being on the show. I waited this whole time, and I was going to try not to ask, but why interview in a scuba mask?
Oh, what? No.
There he is. He reveals himself.
I was just playing it safe,
Can't be too careful.
I gotcha.
All right, thank you guys.
Stephen, well, it's nice to see your face, and thanks for hanging out with us.
Appreciate it. I love what you guys are doing. Keep at it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
Okay. let's see if we can manage to bring on our next guest.
We have a dynamic duo coming up for you next. That rare creature, a couple in a successful relationship in Tango.
Yep, you don't see it often, folks. Drink it in.
Hello to all the chuckleheads in the chat, by the way.
Here she is. Here they are.
Here.
Wait.
Okay. Let's see if we can manage to bring on.
Wait. We can still hear your. Please turn down your stream. There it is.
Dynamic duo coming up for you next. That rare
Can you guys turn
creature.
down your stream, please?
Can you turn down the stream on YouTube?
Oh, we have to turn our stream on.
And we'll just do the interview on Skype. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Awesome. There they are.
Roy, are you wearing florals as promised yesterday?
I did my best. There aren't actually any flowers on here.
Oh, 1 second. Yeah.
Going to get the outfit of the day midstream.
Oh, okay.
Nyan will be so proud.
We'll have flowers in a moment. We went to our garden and picked some roses.
Oh, wow. Above and beyond.
So nice.
Roy looks better.
I had a flower skirt on, but then I got cold, so I'm just back to the same pair of sweatpants I've been wearing for like 5 days.
Yeah.
So great to see
Nice.
you guys.
Yeah, good to see you
Yeah, good to
guys.
see you too. I've been I've been teaching online, so I related to the pants thing. I've been wearing like a suit and a tie, and I'm just totally in shorts and pajamas.
On the bottom, business on top, party on the bottom.
Exactly.
So there might be people watching that don't know you guys. Can you just introduce yourselves, tell us what you do for a living, your relationship with each other, and maybe what your situation is right now with this whole crazy thing going on.
Sure. I'm Roy Nyberg. I'm a teacher at a local high school in El Segundo. I started at Oxygen. I took a few classes, but I really started with the Tango Challenge about a year ago. Actually, a little over a year ago now. And yeah, this is my wife. So go ahead.
Yeah, we know each other. So I'm Minfei. What I do, I'm a flight attendant, but right now I'm not working. I'm on my days off, but everything's changing with the airlines now, so we'll see. And I started Oxygen Tango. Well, I started Tango with Roy. I think it was on a date night or something.
Yeah.
That we decided to check out Tango because he's been doing it, and then I liked it. And then when he took the challenge, after he took the challenge, and then he got so much better, so I was like, I gotta take the Tango challenge. So that's how I got really into it.
Got it. Is there possibly something rubbing against the microphone, potentially?
No.
Oh, okay. It seems to
Maybe
be,
it's
seems
me.
to be okay now. Okay, great. Sorry to interrupt you, Minfei. You were talking about how you started.
Oh yeah, that's it though.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that, the airline industry? What's changing? What's happening?
So okay, it started in January. The end of January, we started cutting all the China line. American Airlines stopped flying with China destination because at that time China have a lot of coronavirus positive confirmed, and so we did that. And then after that, everything started changing. Pretty soon we started closing all those Europe flights, London flights, cutting short all that. And then a few weeks later, like around now-ish, our domestic flight is cut down a lot. I actually flew a few days ago. The flight looks very different now. So back then, the flights are always full, a lot of people. But now each flight is about 20 people, 30 people.
Wow.
And everyone gets a whole, you can sit anywhere because there's empty rows. So that's nice for me. It's easy, not much to do on the flight. Just
In some ways, a flight attendant's dream if you took out all the rest of what's happening.
Yes.
Right.
But actually, right now, our union has helped us to negotiate with the company. So right now, if you take American Airlines flights, the flight attendants basically not going to serve you anything. No drinks, no water, unless you request. Because a lot of passengers would come on board, bring their own like sanitary wipe, and then clean the airplanes. And then they would bring their own drinks and food. When we walk through and give them food and water, most of the time they don't want anything. And they don't want to talk to you. So we're like, okay, that's easy. So so with airlines, we give our schedule a month ahead. So right now we know our schedule for April, but it's not realistic with everything changing so fast. The flights that's planned, it might be canceled. So so that's like a big change for us too. Yeah, a lot of us. And we company offered a lot of like leaves of absence, and a lot of people are taking it. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Roy, what about you? What's? I mean, I'm sure your entire job is different now too.
Yeah, we closed our school several weeks ago, like a little bit before other places. We had kind of a break set in there anyway. But anyway, we closed the school, and then we extended that break and had a meeting about like doing online teaching. And it was like real fast. It was like in like 3 days they were like, try it out. So I'm in my third week of online teaching now. There are parts of it I kind of like in terms of like how I can interact with the students.
For example?
You know, it's a lot easier for me. So it's something like this where we can all see each other, but there's also like a chat box on the side. And so I've noticed that some students are like more willing to like maybe send me a private message of a question, and I can just answer it right back. And it's not something that like we need to stop the whole class and put that tension on that person and that question, you know. So that part's kind of nice. They're uploading all their homework as like pictures, and I thought that was going to be annoying, but we actually have this software where I can just like point and click and add comments, and that's actually I think I'm going to keep doing that when school starts back. It's pretty efficient, and then I don't have papers all the time. Carrying them back and forth. You know, it's interesting because it happened at this point in the year, so I kind of already knew my classes. It is imagine that it would be able to have a relationship if you started the year. So that part's kind of weird. Like it's just a little strange when they're not like there. You know, you can't. I don't know. There's just certain, like, when you're all together in the same room, there's more of like a sense like we're all doing the same thing. Whereas if I give everybody something to do and then they turn their camera off and do it, and now I'm just looking at a bunch of like boxes with names on it. You know, like I feel like a little disconnected from like what they're doing. The way I wouldn't if I was in the room overhearing conversations and, you know, looking at what's on the desk and stuff. So that's been interesting.
Are you guys doing like a full school day, like the normal hours that you were doing before?
For now, yeah. We're trying to preserve like a sense of normalcy. I think that we're going to tweak that soon. I know for myself, I'm getting a little like screen fatigue because in addition to teaching, I've been connecting with like old high school friends. I've been doing like Zoom meetings with families and with my family. So we might tweak that. But for now, yeah, we're trying to like basically preserve everything we can. And even like I host the chess club, and I have a little like meeting room for kids to come in and play chess or just chat.
Huh.
Yeah.
Dave plays chess.
We've talked about this.
But I've never played you yet.
So does Sachin.
Yeah, we got to set that up.
Yeah,
man.
well, this is the perfect time.
Yeah. I'll send you a website where you can get an account, and
All right.
we'll go at it.
We'll do a 5-minute match on the stream.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm gonna put money on it.
Who are you going to put money on?
Roy.
Obviously. Yeah, I saw that coming. We'll walk right into that
Down,
one.
Dave.
Minfei, is it an anxious time to be in the airline industry? I know I read in the news that the airlines are going to need federal help to survive. Are you optimistic that things will get back to normal, or what is it like?
I'm pretty optimistic about this. It's eventually I think it will come back because airplane is still like the most efficient way that people travel.
Yeah.
Before we used rockets, which I really want to try it. But yeah, I think people are concerned about being furloughed for now. But even people are concerned about, flight attendants. Even though we are concerned about being furloughed, but even that's not the worst thing that could happen because even if we're furloughed, we still collect unemployment and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's still okay. And then we know that the airline would eventually call us back to just find a second job for now. But I feel optimistic about it because I think it's eventually going to come back, and it's probably the best time to invest your money on the stock right now.
Stock market tips from Minfei. All right.
Probably bad tips.
Probably just as good as any other one.
So we just talked to someone, Stephen. He'd been dancing about 5 years. We've had people dancing 15 years. You guys, Roy, you're a little more than a year. Minfei, a little less than a year. I think sometimes as people get more experience, it's easy to kind of forget what's that like. So what is it like for you guys 1 year into Tango? What are you struggling with? What is your experience of that? What does it look to you?
Well, I am still like really liking it a lot. I think like one of the actually the very first time I did it, it was kind of like just at a lark. I tried it out like many years ago and then didn't do it again, but I kind of liked it. I like the connection that you like are really doing something like. There's nothing like in between you and the other person. Like sometimes in a sport, there's like a ball or something that you pass to each other. Like it's really like connected to another person. I still feel like I'm learning, and I just like that feeling. I feel like every time I do it, I get better. So yeah, I'm still liking it for now. This particular year. In addition to like all the oxygen stuff I've been doing, I had also joined the Tango team, which was like a choreographed thing that we were doing, and that was really fun. And it was a different experience to like practice with like the same person all the time. Even though it's choreographed, it's still like you still have to make it like feel good for both of you. So there's like that part of it too. It's kind of a bummer that we had about 4 or 5 shows canceled because of all this. So, and that was actually one of the reasons I wanted to do it in addition to like trying something different was like we were going to have shows at different milongas all around LA. So I thought it would be sort of like a way for me to get introduced to all these milongas without just showing up cold and being like, what's going on? At least I had like some reason I'm there.
Yep.
I like formalities, so that was like part of the reason I did it. So that's kind of a bummer. That's like TBD. We haven't like figured out what we're doing with any of that yet. But I've really enjoyed that aspect of it too.
Yep. You got into the performance early. Yeah, we went to a show at the Modern Music Milonga. It was really fun. It was a nice show.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was super cool. You looked great.
Thank you. This is actually my Tango performance shirt, which I had told myself I was only going to wear it for Tango performances until the last one, and then it would get into my regular rotation. But things happen.
Still somewhat a Tango performance shirt if you wear it on the live show.
Yeah.
That's true.
Speaking of looking good, I saw the video you guys posted today. Looking good. Are you all practicing right now?
We had a nice little dance last night.
What we do.
Nice.
No, she doesn't know I posted a video.
Minfei, you look great in it, and I was so impressed by the breadth of vocabulary in it.
Yeah, well, I had some idea. I don't know, this is just me, but like for a while I would take the classes and I would film the teachers doing the little summary at the end. And just realistically, I found myself never watching those videos again.
Yep.
So what I've decided to do, and I just decided this like 6 weeks ago, so I didn't have that much time yet to do it, but was instead like film myself, usually with Minfei, doing the thing. And it's very interesting to see yourself doing it too, because you don't just think of it as like, oh, that's how it's supposed to be. You see it a little bit like, oh, I remember it was like a little better when they did it. And you just see little things when it's yourself, you know?
Yeah, little horrifying things.
Yeah, sometimes.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's probably much more effective to do it that way. Yeah, and kind of then you're really finding your own way into it in a certain way, instead of just kind of recording it. Also, to me, there's something about that recording at the end of the class. I think for a lot of people it works, but sometimes it can almost be a way of saying, well, I'll get to this later. Like, I'm not going to think about this right now or figure out how I would remember this right now. It's almost postponing the work of abstracting it for yourself, finding a way to remember it. And then, like you said, there's another class tomorrow, so we don't go back and watch that video. I think it's a really good point. Although I have seen it really work for some people, too. So.
Yeah.
What's it like for you guys being a couple in Tango? There's a lot of things about it that are tough. I'm just curious about what your experience. And there's also, most people are single in Tango. What's it like?
Single and Tango. Should I go?
Yeah,
okay, fine. I think, to be honest, at the beginning when we start Tango, I think we are mad at each other a lot, or at least I'm mad at him a lot. And then later on, I just learned, I just try to not practice with him much. That's the solution.
I hear it.
And then, but I think it's a learning curve, because at the beginning I don't know anything, so I always think it's him did something wrong. And it's kind of even.
I love that you didn't know anything. He has more experience than you, and you were frustrated because you assumed he didn't know anything.
Yeah,
girl.
Yeah. And then it's hard to hear from him, because he would be like, "Oh, you should do that," and I hate to hear like sentences like "you should" or "do this," and I'm like, it just sounds so wrong. No, so I was like, okay, I'll just practice with you less, and then. And then after I start Tango a lot, I definitely go through waves that there's time I feel like, oh, I actually know a lot. And I'm like, feel like I'm totally doing it right and you're doing it wrong. But half a year later, I realized, oh, half a year ago, I was totally wrong. But he is right. But anyway, so yeah, it's a phase that goes.
I think you discovered one of the key things that also works for me. I feel like if you have a partner who is in Tango, it's really key to have your own relationship to Tango and have your own stuff that you're doing in Tango, and not have it reside solely on your relationship. It's just too much pressure. And Tango's too hard. Like, you're just gonna project all your shit onto each other, I think, without some outside perspective.
Yeah, and I like taking a break to dance with the same person, not just Roy, but any other Tango partner. Because after later, a few weeks later, when you come back to that person, it's amazing that that person improves so much, and you're like, oh, it's a totally different feeling to dance with you now. It's both of us improved, and it's just more fun. So it's nice to take a break, for me at least. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything that either of you would change about Tango, the way that it is right now?
Change about Tango?
Yeah, the Tango and the Tango scene.
Yeah, the only thing I would change is that I would have more afternoon Tango. As a teacher, sometimes it's just kind of hard to like. I mean, even on Friday, if you're getting up early all week, it's just kind of hard to like start at midnight. Not that everything is that late, but some things are like kind of that late.
What would be the perfect time slot for you, like on a weekday, for example?
I would say like 7.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I'd be in, and then like maybe leave between 9 and 10, and then that'd be perfect.
Yep.
But it gives you enough time to get there. Well, I guess that you get off work earlier than most people, so you have time to get there.
That's true.
Yeah, I understand. Like, and we also went to Buenos Aires once, and everything's even later there. It was like crazy. But so I kind of understand it, and there's a certain like we're going out, like
right.
This is our night out, so like I kind of get it. But for me personally, like I would like more afternoon tango.
Sounds good.
I'm with you.
Yep.
What about you, Mehta?
I love the Buenos Aires style. Like, there's food on the side while you dance.
More food at the events. All right.
More food than tango events. This is accomplishable.
Earlier and more food. We can do it.
Okay. Yeah.
People generally say things that are much harder to change, but I think we can make this happen for you.
Yep.
Like, Megan, you brought the honey for the tea. That was like huge.
The good honey.
Yeah, the good honey.
Right.
Not that cheap honey, that good honey. Top shelf.
So yeah.
Great. I want to ask you guys our question of the day, which is, do you have any collections? Do you collect anything?
I could go first. I think I'm also like, I read the book Marie Kondo, of both of her books, and then I got rid of. So in short, no.
But the second person on the show who condoed their precious collection. What is this woman doing to the world?
I was so excited after I read her book. I feel like that's the problem in my life. I just need to do that. So I probably get rid of 70% of everything that I own. My closet is like, so me and Roy, we live in an apartment, and you know those apartment closets, like large 2 sliding door? And I probably own like 30% of it, and then the other 70% is Roy's rainbow collection of his suits and ties and whatever.
Roy, you collect clothes.
I collect clothes. Yeah.
You collect everything.
I have more ties than I can count, and I only started wearing them because of this like online teaching thing. I never wore ties before, but yeah, I rarely throw any clothes away.
Wait. So why wear a tie to your online class if you don't wear a tie to your real life class?
Good question.
I try to bring a little bit of like silliness to the class experience. So I've been updating them on my garden, which is like spotless right now, because I've been able to go every day. And I don't know, it's just something different, something to mix up the vibe, something to talk about besides other stuff. And it's fun. Besides, I don't know. I think I'm seeing myself on the camera all the time, so I might as well like look good.
I assume it's for you too.
I can't believe that we got 20 minutes into the interview before you mentioned your garden.
Yeah.
I need to know more about it.
Oh.
We have like at the park with those fences, and then there's little squares in there, community garden plots. We got one of those. So we were on a wait list. It's at Lago Seco Park in Torrance. It's 12 feet by 12 feet. And this is our second year into it. And we kind of lucked out. We fully planted it right before like businesses closed down. Yeah, this year we're pretty ambitious. We got corn, a lot of tomato plants, all kinds of peppers, eggplants, other stuff too. Beans.
Neat.
And these roses are
Dead roses.
They're from the garden. We're doing roses and flowers too.
Do you do the gardening work equally, or is it like more your thing, Roy?
I do pretty much all of it. Yeah.
He says both ruefully and joyfully, in my opinion.
Yeah. I kind of like getting some sun, you know. And then sometimes she has ideas, and I have to say that you know how much work that will be. You know, but sometimes those conversations
Good ideas.
They're great ideas. They're great ideas.
Well, it seems like a very great hobby to have right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very useful hobby to have, being able to grow food.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of perfect. We it's like 3 blocks from our house, so that's like my excuse to walk every day, but not like be out too much, you know. And it's yeah. Last year was like surprisingly good, and we didn't know anything. We just put stuff in the ground and it kind of worked. And but
Wow.
the people there are pretty cool, so we've been talking to them, like people who are doing like a little better than us, and they give us tips and things like that. So we think this year is going to be really great.
I've been seeing a lot of memes on Facebook about how important it is to get out and put your hands in the soil in this time. Would you agree?
Because there's no coronavirus in the soil.
Exactly, it wipes it off. 10 seconds of soil is as good as 20 seconds of soap and water.
Oh, really?
I'll take it.
No, don't quote me on that. Don't.
Mud bath.
I hadn't even like some things that maybe you do unconsciously, but I've been like getting really into like getting on my knees and pulling up every little grass that's not supposed to be there, and dandelion and all those things. We were in danger of losing it. They had sent me I basically neglected it all winter, and it was full of weeds. And they sent me like a final notice that they're going to kick us out if we don't weed it. But we got that taken care of. I was like pretty PO'd about it at the time, but it was like 2 days of work. And now I'm glad that it's like really nice and pretty.
Wow, you were the delinquent neighbor. You were like the deadbeat gardener in your garden.
Pretty much. I didn't think things would grow so much in the winter, and I turned out I was wrong.
I see. Well, great. It's been so nice seeing you guys. Thanks for taking your time to come talk with us. You're in 2 professions that I'm sure people really appreciated hearing what's going on in education and in aviation, and just getting to see you. And we miss you, and thanks for coming and hanging out at this, and let us know if you need anything, and we'll be seeing you around. I'm sure we're going to come back and check in on you.
All right.
We miss you guys too. Thanks for doing these things.
That's fun.
We really
you got it.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Bye, you two.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay. We are going to try to add Sachin to the call. There's some interference here. We'll see if we still have it.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure where it was coming from. It seemed to kind of go in and out.
Yeah.
So
Well, we'll figure it out. There he is. Sachin. Can you hear us?
Hey, am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
yeah.
Very on.
Yeah, is this too loud?
No, it's perfect.
Oh, okay, I got my headset on.
Oh, wow.
What's up?
You're upping the ante here. You've got some new technology on the stream.
I got some new tech.
And
not
someone
bad.
put on a blazer.
No, it's not blazer. This is my sweater top.
Oh,
No.
pardon me.
No, it's a blazer.
Why isn't it a blazer?
Is
What's
this?
that?
Is this?
Why isn't it a blazer?
Yes, Dave?
I was just wondering if your new technology, your new headset gear, is this could you describe this as gaming gear? Is this for the stream or for gaming?
You're smart. Yeah.
It's not for us, isn't it?
No.
It's for my new world, which involves a little bit of gaming, you guys, all the Zoom conversations
Okay.
and stuff. Yeah, no, it's all
Why
one.
did you get
You
them?
guys are part of my constellation of things that are important.
Did you break the stay-at-home order to go buy headphones?
No, I dug these up from my van. Just kidding. From my car.
I see.
I don't have a man van like some of us. That's so cool. And I just want to say, I saw his snorkel. That's like a hardcore snorkel that he had, I think, if I saw it right. I'm not a snorkel expert, but I have a swim snorkel. It's this old plastic thing that I swim with. But Stephen Aldaco's?
Aldaco.
Tango. Okay. I don't say his last name very often. I think he had a real bona fide snorkel. Just saying.
Sachin, last time we checked in with you, you were looking forward to a Tuesday fresh choice order, a delivery order, right?
Instacart.
Yes,
Instacart.
Instacart.
Did the order come
Yeah.
through? Can you update us on this?
Yes. Well, it was frantic. I'll be quick about it. So it said I can pick it up from Sprouts anytime between 7 and 8. So at 6 o'clock, this was rare. I decided, you know what, this isn't a full quarantine. This is a stay-at-home kind of deal, so let me go for a run. So like at 6, I went for a run. I was feeling pretty good. And by the way, I've been a little bit hungry these last few days because I've been running low on food, but I'm not comfortable yet going into the supermarket. So I thought, let me just last until Tuesday. So I was supposed to be there at 7. Dude, at 6:30, I get a text, and they're saying, it was literally like, hey, if you're not here by 6:45, no one's going to be here, and you won't be getting your food at all. All your Instacart shoppers are gone by like 6:50. And so literally, I was still sweating. I barely had time to like squirt some of that. What's that called? Liquid, anti-germ liquid.
Mm-hmm.
On my
I think that's what it's called.
Anti-germ liquid. And I got my, what I usually do when I go out is I get it's like a poor man's hazmat suit. I got like a pair of eyeglasses and my mask and a beanie. For some reason, it's more about feeling secure. And a scarf and like a windbreaker. And I head down in my Prius down to Sprouts, and there was no traffic. I got there like in the nick of time. There was a guy waiting, and he wasn't wearing anything. He was wearing a T-shirt with like a bunch of bags with his bare hands. Oh, I had gloves on too, by the way. I had gloves. Knowing full well that it probably doesn't matter. And yeah, I tried to be cool. He put like 6 bags in the back of my car. I stayed back. I still try to make like small talk with him. You know, like, hey, so how's it going? You know, is it pretty busy? And it felt silly. But you know, my hands were in my pockets. I'm like very cautious, a little paranoid. And that was it. I wished him, you know, I told him to take care. He told me to take care too. I closed my own trunk. And I was so exhausted from the whole ordeal. But that was just the first part. There was a second part, which I know you guys went through as well, which is I came home and I didn't know what to do because I've been hearing a bunch of stuff about what you're supposed to do with your groceries. You're supposed to wipe everything down, I guess. So I had canned foods, microwave like foods, like frozen foods, and a couple of fresh things like a tomato, like an onion. And I realized I'm gonna have to spend like some time just wiping everything down, soaping everything up. And so that's what I did. Like I just spent like half an hour, maybe just with a bowl of dishwashing liquid and some water, wiping everything down. Not, you know, all the while I'm thinking this, like, number one, this is a lot of work. Number two, like if our survival as a society depends on me wiping every nook and cranny of every like
box of Triscuits.
Every box of Triscuits. Then we're not going to make it. Because I'm not detail oriented. I tried. I have about 10 cans of stuff in my garage. I'm just going to let it sit there for a week so the COVID can die down.
That's our disinfecting strategy. We take everything non-perishable and just dump it on the porch and let it sit there for 3 days. And then you hope that somewhere in there the COVID virus that's smeared all over it will just die.
Just evaporate. Yeah. Right, exactly. Just die out.
It did feel very harrowing. Like we hadn't actually been out we make little trips down to the corner store and we take walks and stuff, but we hadn't been anywhere together in a while, and certainly out in public. And then, it just felt like it was very stressful. I just felt like I kept like touching things and then possibly touching my face, and then was.
Sachin, I can't wait another moment.
Because...
No, sorry, go ahead. I'll wait another moment. Yeah. No, please.
No, I was saying it's stressful because the enemy is invisible. Like, we are living in like a zombie movie. Like, is it on the doorknob? Is it if I pick up? I ordered celery like a week ago, and I got celery, and not celery, sorry, cilantro, and it's like a very cilantro, a bushel of cilantro, how that looks, and it's like, should I not have gotten this? Like maybe the COVID resides within. So I dipped it in some soapy water and rinsed it off. But no, it's stressful. If you're taking it seriously.
You can put soap on leafy vegetables?
I don't know, man. I did it. Look, man, I did it.
Well, cilantro tastes like shit anyway, so.
Might as well soap it up.
Wow, Megan. Wow.
I hate cilantro. Who likes cilantro?
Okay. My mother was a cilantro.
Franco Del Nuevo says, Sachin, you could knock over a 7-Eleven in that hazmat suit, if the whole law career doesn't work out. I believe Emmett is in the chat saying the invisible enemy. Hello, Emmett. What a treat.
Emmett O'Connell.
Amazing.
He's the invisible Emmett.
Invisible Emmett. Wow, that's an exciting.
Welcome, Emmett O'Connell. Is it O'Connell or O'Connell? Emmett. Does anybody know? Who remembers from Facebook? Emmett's last name, is it O'Connell or O'Conlon?
Well, Ivan Lopez is in here too. Sorry. I believe it's Emmett O'Conlon, but... Yeah.
I've known him for like 15 years.
What's that?
He's an institution. I've known Emmett for 15 years.
He's the definition of an LA Tango institution. Hopefully he'll come on the stream. It's a short road from the chat to the stream, Emmett, so hope you'll be coming on soon. Man.
Dude, if you have Emmett on, you got to turn down your speakers because he has a voice.
Oh.
That's like, it carries across the room. Right, well, have you ever hear him do his announcements?
No.
Yeah, a song will end, and then it's an announcement time. It's come up, booming voice. It's just it hits you to your core. He's done in 10 seconds. It's beautiful and loud. It's beautiful.
Emmett was a regular at Tango at Dawn.
Yes.
It's a special breed of people.
Okay.
It was a very exclusive group.
Sachin, I can't wait another instant. I have to know. Last time we spoke to you, you'd gone online. You'd been playing. What was the game? What was the virtual world you were playing?
And I keep forgetting the name.
That's okay.
I'll have it for you.
That's okay.
Game of something too.
You're playing a game. You made a friend. He saw that you were having some trouble with all the data it's in the modern games, and he saw that you were struggling. He helped you. You guys have been on some missions together. You showed us a video of you guys dancing together.
I still really resent that we're calling this avatar a he. We have no evidence.
No, we don't have any evidence, anything.
True.
But fill us in. Where are we in this?
Oh man, well, I guess my bluff has been called because I don't know if I played it off last time as if I didn't care that much about him, but I came back on a few times, and I would look for him, and he hasn't been there.
Really?
So,
did he see the stream?
Yeah. So what I did was, what's that?
No, nothing. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, Minfei was like, he's probably not even real anyway, sucker, because that's how Minfei talks. Sucker. No, but I'll tell you what.
I'm still convinced that this is your true love. I really am.
So here's what I did. I just started dancing because this guy taught me to dance, and I thought this would be like my siren call to him or her to her.
Thank you.
So it's been a little nuts. I think some players are getting annoyed because I'll go into like the middle of a battle, and I'll just hit my dance button, which nobody knows about. I'll just start dancing, and I'll just have I have a little video.
Oh, good.
Yeah. There's a full on battle. You can't really see it, but I am just grooving in the background.
Oh, I see. That is confusing for the fighters probably.
Yeah, they're not sure why.
This looks like an Avatar game.
Yeah, would you like to see my? This is how I view myself.
Yes,
This is what
in fact, that was something I was hoping to do on the stream, was just kind of go through your avatar and you could show us some of your details, why you made the decisions to be an 8 foot tall, sort of tunicked, shoulder padded.
Tunicked, shoulder padded.
Walk us through your avatar, Sachin.
Well, his default is that he has facial hair, and but I did away with the facial hair, and I feel like on some level, this is me.
Yep.
Yeah, weren't you saying yesterday
I can't even tell if you're holding up your avatar or not.
What's that?
So I was going for something there. Sorry, go ahead, Sachin.
I know. Yeah, I should just do the rest of it like this.
Right.
I'll just. Whoa. Yeah, they ask you like 50 questions. Yeah, 50 different things you can change about your avatar to get it like that. And I spent a good half an hour on him during the age of Corona.
So there's been no contact. What is this friend? Does the friend have a name that you've been looking for?
I had it. It's something very nondescript. It's some kind of word followed by 6802.
Okay, so and no contact, further contact since we talked to you on Monday.
No further contact.
Right. Okay, well,
no further. You can't even check to see when he's been last on. Not that I've been checking.
And what day are we at in your 20-day love bounty? Where are we? We're in day 7 right now, 6 or 7.
Yeah, this is day 7.
Okay, so we had
love bounty.
we had some good luck on day 4 and 5, and then there's maybe just kind of your wandering on the desert period.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah, this is the montage where you're all lonely and you get a dog, and
absence makes the heart
even the
grow fonder.
dog's looking at you with pity. And
I always wonder, how do you reconcile these two sayings? Absence makes the heart grow fonder, but also out of sight, out of mind.
Dave, you have been blowing my mind since yesterday.
Maybe it's just you apply them to different situations. Maybe you have to know when to apply which one. Maybe.
This makes a man out of sight, out of mind. I don't know. I think people pick and choose depending on what their agenda is.
But in this case, it's certainly the former.
It is. He is not out of mind, even though he is out of sight. And I now relish that moment where she popped up out of nowhere and helped me. Now we're talking. Yeah, but I'm gonna keep trying. I don't mind the game that much anymore. I'm gonna log on again, probably tonight. After I've done everything else I'm supposed to do.
The last time we spoke to you, you were working on building an exciting new marijuana habit. How's that going?
Wait. Before we get to the marijuana habit, Nyan King had an important suggestion, which is perhaps that you could post in Craigslist misconnections to figure out.
That's smart. That is smart.
How to meet up with the
Is that
theory.
smart?
Misconnections. We met online.
I go on Craigslist, which has its own. This is now I go on Craigslist.
You just put up a picture of your avatar.
So hey, I was playing this game one night, and you came out of nowhere, and you helped me through this magical forest, helping me get some more wizard points. Who are you? Call me. Email me. I'm looking for you.
Writes itself. I mean, I think you're done.
All right, now we can get into the marijuana habit.
How's it going, Sachin?
Yeah. It is going. So here, I don't have matches or a lighter.
Wow, this is sad. This is a sad situation.
Dude, hang on, dude. I do have a tea candle, which you can light with your stove, but which I did. It's a very small tea candle. So I have a giant. So it's a ridiculous. I have a giant pair of tongs I use to hold the tea candle that I light with the stove. I then put the tea candle on top of this little thing, and I have the long story short, I'm still I think I have a system for getting crunked. And yeah, I've done it twice, and I think I'm getting the hang of it. I don't know if I feel it as much, but I think I'm just going to keep practicing. Right? Is that because you guys are you guys are like
I've never smoked marijuana.
Aren't you guys at the Chicho and Juana of marijuana smoking?
I just like how you've jumped right to the junkie stage where you don't have any matches or like or lighters, and you're like huddled in your kitchen, like striking two rocks together and trying to get. Can someone please get Sachin? We have to get a lighter into your next Instacart.
Yeah,
order,
who can drive to El Segundo and drop a lighter off on Sachin's doorstep?
Get this man
Anybody in the chat?
Basic civilization over there.
Yeah.
I've never had to use a lighter. I am a civilized man. I have, I have a heater. I have a stove. I have a microwave. Why would I need? I don't need to start a fire. Up until now, this is all.
But wait, how did you put together two
We're all learning together new things during this time, that we do need the ability to start fire as a civilization.
How did you spark the first two dubes if you don't have a lighter now?
No, I use my tea candle.
Oh.
Yeah, I use my tea candle.
And are you going to keep an eternal flame going in your kitchen?
Oh, well. I'm a little because of my paranoia.
Oh, that's true. That would keep you up at night.
Right. Next time I'm on, if I'm ever on, I will have the tea candle and show you exactly what my process is. I'll show you proof. I mean, it's a real thing. And I bought a box of 100 of these like 12 years ago. I still have them. Apparently, I don't.
I've been there. Yep.
Yeah. I thought I would have a lot more romantic evenings in the last
Me too.
10
That's
years.
what I was thinking. Or just that I would work into my life more. Like, I'll just start doing this now. I'll have them in the bathroom. Why wouldn't I have one on? Just when I'm surfing the web at night. Why wouldn't I? I should get 100 of these.
Your mind, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I still have like 97.
And I have
That's so different,
organized them and put them in a box and labeled them.
Yeah, they're
and
labeled.
put them in the closet.
Well, can.
What?
What? You organize them? Have you guys learned new skills during the age of Corona?
Yes, Ecam. By the way, this reminds me. If anyone out there is an expert on Ecamm Live or Restream or Skype or live streaming in general, get at me. I'm all ears. We're learning this as we go along, a little bit at a time. That's been the new skill. Is all the live streaming software.
Yeah, it's super cool. I think you guys are doing a bang-up job.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
I like the outro and the intro.
Thank you. And as I've said before, thank you for identifying them as if they were different.
All right, Sachin. I feel like it's time to wrap it up.
Speaking of the
Tell us about your.
All right.
What do you collect? No, hold on a second.
Sorry.
Oh.
Chill out.
Sorry. I have a hair trigger.
Of the day.
I have a hair trigger for getting out of situations.
My mouse is above the outro button right now, Sachin. Anytime I want, I can play that outro.
Do you have any collections, or have you ever had any collections?
No, I'm with the other guests. I don't have any collections. I've never had, no, that's so alien to me.
Not even as a kid?
As a kid, I collected Garbage Pail Kids. You guys know what those are?
Yes. Mug and Megan.
They were like Cabbage Patch Kids, but sort of for the I don't know who, but
for the edgy.
Yeah, for the edgy kids. Yeah.
Yeah. I had also had one. It was like a barfing one. I just remember. I can't remember what the name was, but they were barfing.
What was it? Was it called Barfing Meg? Was that yours?
Oh, maybe that's what it was. What's Mug and Megan then?
It was probably like a tough-looking garbage pail kid who would like mug people. It was like more, of the criminal
element. Barfing Meg. Wow, you're taking me back.
Mugging was mugging. When people talked about mugging more, they thought about it more back then. Mugging was a bigger part of the culture in those days, I think.
Oh, I always thought
you just don't hear people talking about mugging as much.
Oh, even
That's
just now
true.
I
It
was
sounds
thinking
like
of
an
mugging,
old
like
word.
mugging for the camera, not like mugging somebody for their purse.
Oh.
That's true.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm
But
a little
that's not
confused
really
now.
a bad habit, so I don't know why they would have a garbage pail kid that was called Mugging Megan, and she's just like,
Well, it's a vice, vanity.
No. I think mugging for the camera is a recent phenomenon.
oh, well, that could be a good garbage pail card.
Selfie Megan.
Mugging Megan.
Oh, sorry, mugging
Oh,
Megan.
shit.
Right. Sorry, the alliteration.
Catch up.
Ah!
All right. Well, that feels like a good
Okay,
one.
bye. Is that my cue? Sorry.
That was so fun. I can't wait to check back in.
Yeah.
We will be back tomorrow night, Thursday, 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Have a good
everyone.
one.
Hi, everybody.